Hello, I'm Regina McCann-Hess, president of Forge Wealth Management, and welcome to our Women in Wealth series. Sadly, we have to talk about financial aid scams because where there's money, there's going to be some bad guys. So, as with most things, scams, there are scams related to grants and scholarships. Once you start branching out from the local and federal resources, you'll need to be a little bit more vigilant about not falling for financial aid scams. Desperation over the high cost of college and inexperience may make some students vulnerable to these scams. Just be skeptical of any email offering you a scholarship or a grant that you never applied for. Stay away from any applications asking for a fee or bank information. That should be a big red flag. Social security numbers or other sensitive information? No, they don't need that. Absolutely not. Any messaging that pressures you to act now or guarantees you money are both also major red flags. In general, you should just stick to well-known organizations and websites and keep an eye out for anything that looks or sounds suspicious. If it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. So just be careful out there. Now, we're talking about grants and scholarships, but many families have 529 accounts that are also going to help them pay for college. So if your child is young or even in their teens, you may already be thinking about how to, afford college without sinking yourself into and your child into debt. So savings accounts can also be an incredibly helpful tool. But we really like the 529 plans as far as the fact that they're tax advantage savings accounts and they're specifically geared towards education and allow you to take advantage of any potential growth. Now, these accounts are funded with after-tax dollars. The interest of the growth compounds tax-free, and funds can be withdrawn without being taxed as long as they're used for qualified expenses. Now, qualified expenses, oh my gosh, what are they? Well, it's basically your college tuition, your supplies, your room and board, equipment. Also, that will include vocational and tech training as well. It now also includes kindergarten through 12th grade private school tuition up to a certain dollar amount. There's also coverage for apprenticeship programs and fees, and also some limited student loan payment. Now, non-qualified withdrawals are taxable as ordinary income to the extent of earnings and may also be subject to a 10% income tax penalty. So you do want to be aware of that and be careful of, how you're withdrawing money. Keep your receipts, keep your invoices from the tuition. Thankfully, most colleges on the tuition bill or the invoice, they list not only the tuition fees, but they'll list the additional fees that they tack on, such as whatever sports fee or whatever it is. But also they put the room and board on there, like the meal plans and the dorm fees and all like that. So you have a good statement from the school. You want to save that just in case you're ever audited. Now, even though we're saying they're federally tax-free, there may be some state income tax implications, and that varies state by state. Now, just remember, I did say that you could take money out of a 529 plan to pay for private tuition for kindergarten through 12th grade. That's limited up to $10,000 per year. They can be used for apprenticeship programs registered and certified with the Security of Labor under the National Apprenticeship Act. So that's another thing that they could be definitely a good use as well. And then I also mentioned student loan repayments. So that is a maximum lifetime amount of up to $10,000. So, you don't want to go over that. It's a good option though. Now these funds never expire. So if you're opening a 529 account and your child likes not to pursue further education, or if you have funds left over after one child graduates, the beneficiaries can be changed. Now, there's also new ruling that a portion of that money up to a certain limit can be used towards funding the child's Roth IRA. But more on that on another episode of Women in Wealth Education. So what if I still need more money? So despite all the financial aid, grants, scholarships, and saving that you might do, some students will inevitably end up still needing to consider loans. Once students fill out that FAFSA, they will likely be offered student loans in the financial aid package from their schools. You can accept all, partial, or none of the loans that are offered. Now, you do want to be cognizant that interest rates on federal loans are fixed and usually lower than the private loans. The repayments don't begin until after you leave school or drop below a part-time student status. Now, those loans offer flexible repayment plans and may also be forgiven in some cases, or if you work in specific careers like education, medical fields, nonprofits, et cetera. And I have actually had this happen with a couple of my teachers who had loans forgiven because they worked in low income area or at risk schools, and they were able to get some or all of their student loans refunded or forgiven, and that was a huge win for them, and it also was great for the kids that they were teaching, so it was a win-win for everybody. So look into things like that as well. Bottom line, college is expensive, but knowing where to find the financial aid, grants, and scholarships can help parents and students make more informed financial decisions. I guess the other thing that, we don't talk about enough is also consider if it's too expensive, consider some, what do you call the community colleges that have agreements with state colleges. So I'll just use it as an example. Montgomery County College in my area has an affiliation with Westchester University. And I know a couple families who started their kids at the Montco Community College. They did their first 2 years at a very inexpensive tuition, very inexpensive. And then they transferred to Westchester, which again, state school, so not crazy expensive, but still they transferred there and they did the next 2 years and they had their degree from Westchester. And they were able to keep their costs down dramatically. So that's another thing that you could think about if you feel like, wow, yeah, we're getting grants and loans, but we're still going to be, we're still going to be in major debt after school. So this could be another option for you. But you also, again, have to do the homework and make sure that they're affiliated with another university that's going to accept the credits, and it's part of a program and fun things like that. So it's never ending what you have to think about. Let's wrap it up with a couple of key points. Grants and scholarships are a great resource to make use of when considering how to pay for college. Filling out a FAFSA form each year. Not doing so means that you could potentially be missing out on thousands of dollars in aid. Also, reputable online search tools can make finding grants and scholarships a little bit easier. So our call to action today, one of the things you can do is compare college costs for each school that you're considering for your child. And, literally side by side, what are you getting for what the cost is? The other thing that you definitely want to do, you've heard me say it about 3 or 4 times today, is complete the FAFSA form and use online resources to apply for scholarships. Those are great ways to get you started. And with that, I want to thank you for joining me today. Again, I'm Regina McCann-Hess, president of Forge Wealth Management. Our website is forgewealth.com. I am on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Forge Wealth. And on Instagram, we're Forge Wealth Management. LinkedIn, Regina McCann-Hess. Go make it a great day. And we'll just say good luck in college.